Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John, and once again I'm going to be continuing 50 years of horror fiction, and we are moving into the 1980s, starting with, of course, the year 1980. I've got 5 books here, so let's go ahead and get underway. First up, we've got Bethany Sin, and this is by Robert McCammon. A family moves to a small town dominated by a murderous cult. Despite its eerie name, Bethany Sin is a pleasant place. After a life of grim poverty, this new community seems like heaven to Evan Reed and his family. With its quaint shops, manicured lawns, and fresh summer smell, the town charms the Vietnam veteran, his wife, and their daughter like nowhere else they have ever been. But beneath that cheerful facade lurks something deadly. As soon as they enter their new house, Evan is consumed by fear. He can't place its source, but there is something about the town's mayor, Catherine Drago, which makes him uneasy. By day, she is a harmless retired archaeologist, but at night, she leads an Amazonian cult whose next ritual calls for a secret ingredient, the blood of Evan Reed. And that is Bethany Sin, and that is by Robert R. McCammon. Right, next we've got The Vampire Tapestry by Susie McKee Charnas. Edward Wayland is far from your average vampire. Not only is he a respected anthropology professor, but his condition is biological rather than supernatural. He lives discrete lifetimes bounded by decades of hibernation and steals blood from labs rather than committing murder. Wayland is a monster who must form an uneasy empathy with his prey in order to survive, and The Vampire Tapestry is a story wholly unlike any you've heard before. And that is The Vampire Tapestry, and that is by Susie McKee Charnas. Okay. Alright, next we've got Gilded Needles, and this is by Michael McDowell. Welcome to the Black Triangle, New York's decadent district of opium dens, gambling casinos, drunken sailors, gaudy hookers, and backroom abortions. The queen of this unsavory neighborhood is Black Lena Shanks, whose family leads a ring of female criminals, women skilled in the art of cruelty. Only a few blocks away, amidst the elegant mansions and lily-white reputations of Gramercy Park and Washington Square, lives Judge James Stallworth. On a crusade to crush Lena's evil empire, the judge has sentenced 3 of her family members to death, and now she wants revenge. One Sunday, all the Stallworths receive invitations to their own funerals. Can even the wealth and power of the Stallworth family protect them from Lena's diabolical lust for vengeance? And that is Gilded Needles, and that is by Michael McDowell. Right? Okay, next we've got Night Things, and this is by Thomas F. Monteleone. Residents of the little town of Kenora, New Mexico are none too concerned when the local construction crew unearths a Native American burial ground. After all, Sheriff Miguel Lopez, shopkeeper Lori Danick, newspaper chief Tony Cavella, his daughter Deirdre, and the rest of the bustling community have their own lives to think about. But sometimes a bulldozer does more than move the earth. It opens a wound. A spate of strangely violent deaths, bird-like claw marks gouged into crime scenes, and a disturbed, forgotten cavern in a rural desert. Night Things, Thomas F. Monteleone's debut horror novel, brings small-town fear into harshly bright sunlight. And the people of Kenora have no idea about or any way to prepare for the ancient terror about to be let loose upon their small town. Take a chilling trip to a 1980s Southwest desert village beset by an ancient evil unleashed from its binding in the underworld, risen again to plague mankind. and that is Night Things, and that is by Thomas F. Monteleone. Okay, last but not least for 1980, we've got Sins of Omission, and this is by Chelsea Quinn Yarbrough. She was beautiful, tantalizing, and irresistible. Fair. The man who had possessed her was dead. Now two others wanted her. One wanted the pleasure of her exquisite body. The other wanted the awesome power that her spirit commanded. Both got what they wanted and horrifyingly more. Sins of Omission. It goes beyond evil. And that is Sins of Omission by Chelsea Quinn Yarbrough. And that is going to do it for 1980, 50 years of horror fiction. And until next time, take care and stay scared. Thank you. Bye-bye.